My name's Doug Miolen. I got married to Doug in 1988. I have been married to him for 25 years and did not know that he had a brain injury problem.
One of the great effects of the concussions were the relationships. Just, you know, my personal relationships, even with my wife, watching my wife go through what she's been through for the last 25 years of having to live with me and tolerate me and be there in those rough times were not pretty.
Throughout our marriage, he progressively got worse. It started with verbal abuse and very angry and just depression. He had problems with communicating with his children, with me.
When I was younger, all I remember is how stressful my life was. I couldn't go home and be happy. I noticed my dad was always upset, angry, depressed. And then one day, we were having this really good conversation, and he had just told me that, you know, he was just thinking about ending his life, and it was really hard to hear. And then the next day, I couldn't get a hold of him, and I couldn't find him, and he was in his truck. He had, I don't know what had happened. I think that he had like passed out or something from heat exhaustion, and I think then is when I realized that all of the stuff that he was going through was real.
I remember back in around 1998 or so, I remember going to seeing a neurologist, and I remember them giving me an EEG, I believe it was, and they hooked all these wires up to my head and sent me home with all this stuff, and you know, it came back, and I don't think there was anything that happened or whatever. I remember having some seizure type activity. I was having problems, you know, with shaking and things of that sort. But I just remember that doctors wouldn't tell me anything. They wanted to give me some depression medicine and sent me on my way. I couldn't get a doctor to diagnose me. They were afraid to, but all they wanted to do was medicate me. And you know, they would medicate me and give me pills. I take almost 70 pills a day now, and my body is addicted to them now. And I want to get off of them. They're killing me. I can't. I'm not even a person, I feel like. And you know, I became so disgusted with it that I didn't even go back to doctors. And for 10 years, you know, here I am taking all these medications to treat my symptoms, but they never went to the root of the problem, and the root of the problem was the concussions. And I became so dissatisfied with life. You know, I never thought I would follow through with it, but I had so many thoughts about ending my own life, and it just got to the point where I couldn't take it any longer, and I knew there had to be an alternative. I knew there had to be a better way.
And then one day, Doug called me and said, I have found this doctor. He's a chiropractor, but he specialized in neurology. And in one day, just by my husband talking to this person, it was like he was a new person. Dr. Ruben gave my husband some hope that not only was he going to treat the symptoms, he was going to get to the root of the problem. And that gave me hope. And Dr. Ruben sat down. I went to one of his appointments. He sat me down for the first time. No doctor has ever done this for me, but he sat me down and explained everything.
Since my dad has been seeing Dr. Ruben, it has given me the greatest hope that I will have that relationship with him that I've never had before. I'm getting married, and I really need my dad.
So far I have seen a tremendous increase in my husband's memory. His anger has been less and less. I hardly ever see him get angry anymore. The depression is extremely better. Hardly at all does he get depressed. his memory is better. He's more alert. He's just all around a happier person.
Like, I'm hoping he's home when I'm coming home so I can tell him hey and hang out with him. And it's a really good feeling because to know that you always have your dad by your side no matter what.
Concussions are very debilitating, they're very serious. And my treatment here is proof of that in just a very short period of time. I mean, I couldn't even carry on a conversation not too long ago. I was in a stupor from the medications. But Dr. Ruben and Menders gave me my life back.